Good morning, everyone. Looks like we're having a little bit of issue with TikTok this morning, but I think it's working now. I was a little concerned when I first hit go live. It kind of freaked out on me, but I think it's moving in the right direction now. At least I hope so. Hopefully everyone can hear me. How was everybody's New Year's? It's a brave new world. It's moving in. And it is an exciting time, to say the least. Well, let's see. We got that set up there. We've got that chat set up there. I think we are moving in the right direction. Good morning, Alex.
One step at a time.
Boy, it kind of freaked out. So I launched the live, and my screen went black. And I'm like, oh, no, you got to be kidding me. But I think it's working. At least it looks like it is at this point. All right, let's see here. Good morning, Dave.
Morning, guys. What's up?
Well, we are just getting things going here. Did you have trouble logging on?
Nope, all good.
Oh, good. Good morning, James. Oh,
Good morning, sir.
There he is. I think you got an issue with your camera over there, James.
I got no issue.
I don't know, man. It's looking a little wonky to me.
Operator error.
Exactly. Look at Towie Bixby's already in there. 10,000 taps in the first minute. You are fantastic, Towie. She is right, though. We got to get to 10,000 taps in the first 10 minutes of every show. So we got to tap. I don't know how many we'll have today with the what do you call it? Holiday and all. But if we can get there, great. And if not, well, then we'll do it next time. Oh, look at that. And the heart me's coming in. You guys are on top of it. You know that we have to have heart me's. We have to have 10,000 taps in the first 10 minutes. And you guys are on top of it. Incredible. Oh, I like the background, Dave. Very nice. Very nice. So
For sure.
there is one heck of a lot going on today. James, you sent a text about something about XRP before 2. What does that mean?
Before it hits $2.
Oh, before
Alex is on it. See, he's good.
Yeah, no, I didn't know if you meant like 2 this afternoon or something, or what you were talking about.
You got 3 cents left.
Oh, really? Okay, good.
Buy the dip.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. And so here's another thing, everybody. We're going to go through this every day for a while, but we no longer
don't mention it, because you saying don't mention it is mentioning it.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know how else to communicate it. But
that particular shop that we reference often, we are no longer going to reference.
Exactly.
Either that or sign language, Sam.
Yeah. Oh, look at Top Crop lighting us up already this morning. Thank you, Seth. Yeah, so we don't want to mention that particular shop anymore. Apparently, it's a negative now. And it used to be our safe word, and we could use it to bypass. Well, it's not the case anymore. And then
Our
also,
safe word.
Yeah,
Our safe word.
right. And then the heart me's. Thank you. There we go. The heart me's that Wendy. Let's see who just sent that. Allie, who was that? I don't know. But anyway, heart me's. Look at that. Just Top Crop lighting us up this morning. Thank you, Seth.
Whoa,
Wow.
bro, slow
Wow.
down.
Incredible. Thank you, Seth.
Can you guys explain to James what a safe word
Yeah.
is? He doesn't have any.
Oh my gosh. James must have.
His safe word is eyebrows.
Exactly. So anyway,
You had to bring that up.
So no more of the shop thing. Heart me's, 10,000 taps in the first 10 minutes. And we're also going to be experimenting with something new next week, you guys. We are, because of our tutelage with Top Crop TV, who is our agency now, we are going to be doing something different next week. We're going to try it out. And what we're going to do is the 4 of us are going to go live independently on our own channels. And then we're all going to join together for the show. Now, I think what we're going to do is we're going to do an experiment this weekend, probably tomorrow, as long as James and Dave and Alex have the time. And we're going to try and do this new format, whatever you want to call it, where we're joining the lives together. We're trying to break out of this algorithm with TikTok. And so look for that this weekend. I may put out a video right before it saying, hey, we're going to go live. Maybe you can join us. If you're around this weekend, that would be great. All right, well, let's say some good mornings this morning. Who do we have here with us? Benji, 1959. Big Ben is here. Good morning, Ben. Rhino is here. Doug Rice, 59, said 2026, the year of arrest. Oh, exactly. Towie Bixby Dellin at 10,000 taps in the first 10 minutes. Let's see. Holy smokes, we're already past that. Towie and company, you guys are fantastic. Incredible. Just incredible. Benji 1959 said, unfortunately, I'll not be able to stay for the whole show today. A likely story, Ben. We're on to you, man. No, I'm just glad you're here at all. Let's see. Sassy Minnesota girl is here. Dana Mackey is here. PJ Party. Peggy is here. Wendy. Oh my gosh, everybody's been. Troy Armstrong, 10,000. Yes, we already hit it. Robbie Miller. Yes, you're right. Dana Mackey. Everybody's saying we already hit the 10,000. Fantastic. You guys are great. Joy is here. There she is, the star of the show, Lisa Maria. Oh, look at Dave's background.
You know what that is,
I'm
Sam?
assuming that's your truck, right?
That's a 13-letter shit spreader.
Exactly. Also, too, Top Crop just reminded me. So it's no longer FYP. It's referred to as FYF, for you feed. So again, if you're putting it in the chat to help the algorithm, it's FYF. Thanks, Seth. I forgot about that. Let's see. Rick Senior's here. Wendy J is here. Good morning, everyone. David, wildlife fan, is here as well. Wildlife fan said, happy dysfunctional family Friday. Exactly. Anna Lee is here. Nino's here. Oh my goodness. Everybody's popping in. I love it. Wendy J said, we use both. Yep. Whatever you think is fine with me. Doug Rice 59 said,
it's a brand new year, and Earl Shannon over on YouTube is already starting in. Good morning to the Four Horsemen Patriots. The flat earth awaits you.
Exactly. Earl coming in hot. I love it. That's fantastic. Pure Blood Holly John said, feeling non-functional too. And when everybody, Pure Blood Holly Johns does a fantastic reporting every day. Go over and follow her. She does a fantastic job of summarizing things throughout the day. Give her a listen, give her a follow. That'd be great. Chrissy was replying to David. David, let's see. No, it was Doug Rice said 2026, the year of massive arrests. And it was Chrissy that said, sure, I sure hope so. Yeah, well, I think there's going to be a heck of a lot going on this year, you guys. I think we're talking about, I think we've moved through the disclosure phase or moving through it, and the justification or justice phase is coming, not to mention the monetary system and all that's going on there. Oh man, look at this. See, my screen is just playing tricks on me today. Jan Lovin being grandma's here. Robbie Miller, Christy B78, April Burgess, Barb 7599. Allie Mae. Hey, Allie Mae's here. Hey, Allie. Wendy J. Oh my goodness, everybody. Magic's here. Hey, Magic. John Langloy just popped in. Hey, John. So my apologies if I didn't mention you sooner. It's just for whatever reason, TikTok's algorithm or the screens just seem to flutter around. I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, let's see. Alex, let's move into some indices.
If I gotta,
twist your arm.
Friday. Welcome in, everybody, on this amazing January 2nd, 2026. Where does time go? Markets mixed today. S&P 500 down 8 points to 6,837. The Dow is down 69 points. I'm sorry, up 69 points to 48,132. NASDAQ is down $56.56 to 23,184. Looking at the commodities market, crude Crude oil down 65 cents a barrel. We are below 57 at $56.77 a barrel. Here in the state of Kansas, it was sitting at 206 this weekend per gallon for regular unleaded, just FYI. Gold is down $6.90 to 4,334. John Gwen, if you're not here, this is the one and only time I'm going to tell you live. Go ahead and send me your address. Silver is up 90 cents, sitting at $71.50 per ounce. Copper is up 2 cents to $5.70. Crypto market looks like it's making a bit of a momentum shift from the steady line and down that we have been for the last couple of months. Bitcoin is currently up 3%. That's a couple thousand, $3,000. Sitting at $90,523. XRP is up 6.24% at $1.98. That is $998.02 shy of your January 1st gold there, buddy. And you already have my address. So the only caveat is you have to eat the steaks with me, sir. So when we have that opportunity. So XRP is up 6% at $1.98. Ethereum is up 5% to 3,131. Stellar Lumen XLM is currently up 5% at 22 cents. Cardano is up 11% at 39 cents. I like that background, Dave.
John Gwen's cut right there.
Exactly.
Okay, I thought I liked that. Anyway.
All right. So
market for movement.
Benji 1959 says your screen plays tricks with you every day, Sam. It's either that, Ben, or it's operator error. I'm not sure which. Probably a combination of both. Nino, thank you for all the gifts. That's really sweet. Thank you. Let's see. Wendy. Oh, the hearts. How sweet. Robert Makarski's over here on YouTube. Just popped in. Hey, Robert. Glad you can make it, brother. All right. Let's see here. Let's go with Dave. What do you think, Dave? Farming and agriculture today?
That sounds good. Curtain number 2, please.
Exactly. We just need Carol Merrill to show you around. Yeah.
That's right. Corn down 2 to 3 cents. Soybeans down 5 to 6. Wheat is down 2 to 3. That's definitely not helping the row croppers at all. But the good news is the cattle guys are up 1.11% across the board, and hogs are down 1%. The USDA did release the per acre rates for the Farmer Bridge Assistant Program across the board. Corn is getting 44.36 per acre payments, and soybeans are getting 30.88. The high numbers on that are, it's like oats, not oats, but I think it's rice and one other one, cotton, are getting some big numbers, $100 and some an acre for payments on that. So it's just kind of spreading the wealth out. Not going to kick the can a little bit further down the road, but it is appreciated.
Exactly. John Langlois says Dave supports flat earth farming. Is that true, Dave? Exactly.
It's a lot better than farming on a hillside. Exactly. There's no doubt about that.
I Speak 1717 said silver is a byproduct of copper, lead, and zinc mining. I didn't know that. Huh. Interesting. Top Crop TV said, yay, corn is getting some too. Let's go. Exactly, Seth. All right, let's see. James, what do we have from a military standpoint? Ooh, Towie just leveled up. Look at that. Go ahead, James.
So starting the new year, we got to start with a bang right off the bat. So over a 9-day period, and I think we were, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool. That's a squirrel for me. Over a 9-day period, the United States and allied forces conducted 11 operations that eliminated 7 ISIS fighters. Excuse me. Destroyed 4 weapons caches for ISIS. Admiral Brad Cooper, the CENTCOM commander, says we will not relent. This is not the beginning of war. This is a declaration of vengeance. And I kind of like that. Actually, that's probably one of the best things that Pete Hegseth has ever said. And if you remember, not long ago, He said anyone targeting Americans will spend the rest of their brief life, anxious life, knowing that the United States will hunt you, find you, and ruthlessly eliminate you. So he's talking some pretty big turkey. CENTCOM reports ISIS inspired 11 plots or attacks against the United States in the past year. In Syria, CENTCOM reports 80 operations in the past 6 months the United States and our allies conducted against them. We've detained 300 insurgents and eliminated 20. It's apparent that the Operation Inherent Resolve is extremely effective. But remember this, the United States National Security Council reports at least 5,000 ISIS terrorist fighters are at large in the Syrian Arabic Republic.
Wow. Heavy duty stuff.
So we got some more work to do.
100%. I agree. Nino is just lighting us up with the gifts today. Thank you, Nino. Very kind of you.
Nina. It's Nina.
Oh, it's Nina?
Nina.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Nina. I thought it was Nino. Oh, my apologies. Well, Nina, thank you so much. That's so sweet of you.
And
if
you really want to upset her, call
no,
her
no.
Nona.
I don't want to upset anybody if I can help it. But I'm sure I'm pissing people off every day anyway. Let's see here. Towie just reached level 22. Towie, our personal, how would I even put it? Our personal on-target cheerleader every day. Towie, you are incredible. Thank you. Hey, Tire Man just showed up. Hey, Tire Man. Haven't seen you in a while, brother. Glad you can make it. All right, let's see here. I Speak 17 said, Nino, Nina, potato. No. I don't know. 63 years old, and these screens are everywhere. I repositioned my camera over the week, and everything's different now. So my apologies, Nina. All right. Well, let's see here. Let's move into some stories. First up, so the House Oversight Committee is bringing Tim Walz in to answer for the massive fraud in Minnesota. Apparently, there's going to be 2 different hearings. Now, we've been seeing quite a bit now from Minnesota, Iowa, Maine, and others. California on deck. Is New York also on deck? What do you think, Alex?
I think that it's time to pay the piper. We're going to see a whole lot of disclosure, and I think it's going to happen very quickly, very swiftly. If you've ever read the book, The Art of War, you plan well and you attack like lightning, fast and hard.
Yep, 100%. Hey, Charlie just made it. Hey, Charlie. Andrea Lynn, thank you for the heart me. James, what do you think of this?
Well, the interesting thing that I kind of been digging around for some time now is the raw data from the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report. You can pull that up on any state and compare from year to year to year. And when you go back and look and see what Tim Walz was all about in his tenure as a governor of Minnesota, it's pretty alarming. We got to remember there's 3 branches of government, and Tim Walz falls directly under the executive branch. And when you look at the Attorney General, the Secretary of State, the Governor, the Lieutenant Governor, and a state auditor, those people are just as responsible as Tim Walz is for this. So it's not just one person in the government that's going to answer for it. It's at least those 5.
Tire Man said Tampon Tim is going to enjoy his jail time. Boy, isn't that the truth, Tire Man? Dave, what do you make of it?
Yeah, it's like we've been talking. It's the tip of the iceberg. Hopefully, they're held accountable for it across the board. Obviously, Illinois, California, and New York are going to be a lot harder to get that nut to crack to open that up to it. So we'll see. Right now, sounds like everything's shut down, so the money is getting squeezed. And as we squeeze the money out, they're going to have less power.
And as I said, Kevin Kiley, the only congressman worth his salt here in California, is all over this. And he's putting out posts. He's getting more and more support. California is on deck. And I personally believe it's already been dealt with, but it hasn't been rolled out to the public. But we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. So, and talk. Exactly. Death Star incoming. So talking about these fraudulent activities, Republicans in Maine are demanding further investigations into fraud and want the Somalian state rep Decca Dalek, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, removed from the Financial Affairs Committee while she's under federal investigation. James, what do you make of it?
Cockroach scatter in the light. That's true. But yeah, and that's only just anybody that gets under investigation. If a cop is being investigated for something, they send him to desk duty or send him home. So it makes sense that they're benching her until they get through it. And you know what they're going to find? She's going to be benched
Wow,
permanently.
look at that from Top Crop. Top Crop is just on fire this morning. Thank you, Seth. Thank you. Let's see, Alex, what do you think?
Just like Doge, it started with just, we're going to look at this, and then it ballooned into what it ballooned into, trillions of dollars, trillions with a T. I think we're going to see again over the next 6 weeks the lightning strike, and it's going to go state by state by state. This is the mandate that voters ask for. I think when it's all said and done and the dust settles, there's going to be a whole lot of accountability for somebody to have to swallow. FAFO, like we can go on and on and on. It's coming. It's coming. And I think the next 6 weeks are going to be epic.
Yeah,
epic.
I agree. 100% I agree. Charlie, thank you for all the gifts. How sweet. Okay, so the DOJ's inventory of unreleased Epstein files has soared to over 5 million more pages. Dave, what do you make of that?
Well, it's amazing. We go from we don't have any more to now. And as we've talked, I think they're releasing these as they get approved after they're getting the court cases and everything lined up. So obviously, when you go from 0 to 5.2 million more, there must be a lot more too.
Are you referring to the judicial tyranny? Is that what you're talking about? 100%
Yes.
I agree.
Yes, possibly.
James?
It is troubling, as Dave says, go from 0 to 5 million. They're going to find some more garbage bags, and people wonder why the government buildings are empty in Washington. They're probably going to find a bunch more.
Alex?
I don't think people under 5 million documents. We had at least that many with the property company that I managed all digitally, and you're talking about terabytes and terabytes and terabytes of documents for people to start going through. Tens of thousands of flight logs, photos, contact lists, investigative memos from inside the agencies that were investigating it. Court documents. Court documents are things that are non-fungible, right? Because if somebody's putting court documents into a court case, there's accountability and liability for what you put in. So the receipts are coming out in a freaking flood. And I find it very interesting that the references to the current commander-in-chief all point to the word informant.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Mary Lise Brown, thank you so much for all the gifts. Wendy J, the same. Hey, Lord Bullion's here. Good morning, Lord. Glad you could make it.
And as these items come out, means we're one step closer to start seeing court cases and start seeing people arrested, in my opinion. So every time we see this, we're one step closer.
And how much of this has already taken place behind the scenes is the big question. And nobody knows that answer, myself included. And I don't have any secret sources and, exclusive sources or any of that other garbage. But the reality is, I think there's much more going on behind the scenes than people realize. David Morales over on YouTube said, is Dr. Glidden joining today? Is Dr. Glidden joining? Yes. As far as I know, he will be here. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see him yet, but Mary Lise Brown with the Galaxy Globe. Thank you, Mary Lise. That's so cool. All right, let's move on. So Peter St. Onge, who was somebody that I think everyone should follow over on X, was talking about the fraud in the government. And he said that if you cut $1.5 trillion in fraud, you could exempt all income tax up to $200,000. Now, that's at $1.5 trillion in fraud. What if it's $2 trillion or $3 trillion or $4 trillion in fraud? What does that do to the federal income tax? Well, in my opinion, the federal income tax is in the rearview mirror. James?
It basically turns federal income tax into a sovereign wealth fund. we could actually be paid.
Exactly. That's a very good way to look at it. Dave?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we know how the tax brackets break down, and the upper 1% pay a majority of the taxes across the board. So yeah, you could literally, I think we bring in 2.4 trillion a year on federal taxes. I believe it was, yeah, 2.4 annually across the board. So at 1.5 trillion of savings and not wasting, obviously those numbers line up pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh man, my screen just glitched out on me there. Oh, there we go. Okay, it's back. All right, let's move on. So, Health and Human Services froze the child care payments nationwide after the Somali linked daycare issue. Now, they're freezing it in, it looks like across the nation. How much more? I don't even know how to put this. The level of fraud that has been revealed in Minnesota, the level of fraud that we are getting an inkling to in the rest of the country is significant. I mean, it is beyond what I thought it was. What do you think it's going to play out, Alex? How do you think it's going to play out?
Well, this goes back to fraud because you skipped me on the last one, but that's okay.
Oh, I'm
Look,
sorry.
no, you're fine. The Skiff over on X posted an article and link to USAID funding a particular lab over in Wuhan, also funding Smartmatic election systems. Like, oh my God, when you start connecting the dots on this, when you start to see what has really been going on and how long it's been going on, I think 2.5 trillion dollars is a drop in the bucket. That's 1 year. Our national debt has skyrocketed over the last 15, 20 years. We were steadily doing this until about 08, and we started doing this, and we haven't stopped. It's got to stop. The whole system, the whole house of cards, when you start pulling at that one little thread, the entire sweater is going to unravel right before our eyes. And I think it's coming quick.
Right, right. Now, there's somebody over on YouTube who's trolling us over there. And all I have to say is if you don't like what we're saying, turn it off. Go someplace else. It's okay. You don't need to be here. So I wish you nothing but well. I wish you well, but please, no more of the trolling over there.
But if he wants to learn, Sam, I'd have him stick around.
Well, sure, as long as he's not posting crap in the chat. James?
Well, I think what we really need to look at, Sam, and when they look at Minnesota and the amount of NGOs, 43,000 or so, and you start to look at the NGOs across the bigger states or heavier populated states, I think that they need to have a regulation on these NGOs and keep a better watchdog. The transparency, obviously, you could see it by the young man that went in and was doing his investigative reporting in these daycares, the Leering centers. You can absolutely see that there's no transparency. So I think the government needs to step in for these NGOs and have a watchdog. They need to put a Tom Homan in there or a Kash Patel, and they need to bird dog this a lot better than they are.
Well, and I think the Chevron deference is going to play into that as well. They're going to eliminate so much of the bureaucracy that we're actually going to be able to start producing in America again. Dave, any comment?
Yeah, what President Trump's doing is trying to light a fire underneath all of this. And by doing that, by lowering gas prices and by cutting taxes and by showing this fraud and this waste and trying to eliminate most of this. I mean, this is just going to be the tip of the iceberg, guys. Minnesota will be probably about halfway once they find all this other waste in California, New York, Illinois. Once they get that shell broke, they're going to see all this stuff. It's going to be amazing for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Melissa Flinter's here. Hey, Melissa, glad you could make it. Hokey Gigi just popped in. Queen 15 as well. Welcome in, everybody. So we were going to show a video on the Washington Monument, but we have Dr. Glidden coming on today, so we're going to do that on Monday when we try this new format that we're going to do. But I just want everybody to be aware that that's going to be coming here soon. Well, look who just joined us. The man, the myth, the legend, Dr. Glidden. Good morning, Doc.
Gentlemen, good morning. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you guys. Thanks so much. Happiest of New Year's to everybody.
Same to you, Doc. What's with the tie today?
Oh, it's a whole new me, Sam, for 2026. I am nothing if not professional.
You are very much so. Dapper and ready to go. I love it. Well, Doc, so we've been talking about current events, and I thought I'd wait on this story till you joined us. Bobby Kennedy confirmed that in 2026, doctors will not be financially punished if their patients decline vaccines. That includes religious objections. What is your thought on that? What do you think? What do you make of that?
Well, it's going to make a huge difference, and it's regrettable that it's going to make a huge difference because doctors shouldn't have their hands tied to financial obligations in the first place. They should be doing what's right for the patient. They should be paying attention to the research. They should not just be paying attention to what the drug rep says. They should actually get off their ass and do a little bit of research and think outside of the box, because after all, it's their job, our job, to make sure the patients are best served. So it's, regrettable that it has to come to this in order to move that needle. But anything that we can do to move that needle and to make, vaccines less mandatory is a wonderful thing.
Well, and I think, Doc, we talk a lot about vaccines in general, but you and I both have been in this fight since the at least myself, since the late 80s when I was involved with the National Vaccine Information Center. And things back then, people were just, they looked at me like I was crazy. That needle has moved significantly in the last several years, not, compared to 4 decades ago. What do you make of that?
Yeah, well, people are waking up and times are changing, and social media has really done a lot to fix that, because in the past, all people have had for information is to go to their doctor's office to see what the doctor has to say and what they're saying on CBS Evening News and 2020. And it was all propagandized, and nobody knew that it was propagandized. But nonetheless, it was the social media information revolution, I think, that's really helped that.
Right.
And you probably know this, Sam, but the world's, or at least the leading expert on the whole vaccine thing in the United States is Dr. Sherry Tenpenny. And I'm happy to introduce the two of you. She would be a really fascinating person to have on, but she'd probably take up a whole hour.
Well, maybe we do a special. Why don't you reach out to her and see if she's willing to do a special live broadcast? See if she even has a TikTok account, and let's get her on with you. I would prefer that you be on there with us.
Well, whatever works. Knowledge is power, and this is the thing, right? This is the whole thing, that there are alternatives to the conventional medical method, which have been developed and delivered by physicians who are licensed and regulated, which are safe and effective and inexpensive and non-dangerous. And they exist right now. We don't have to wait for, the med beds in Area 51 to be mass generated for the entire population. These therapeutics exist right now.
Right.
And people just aren't aware of them. And they need to be, because conventional medicine literally is killing us. It's either the first or the third leading cause of death, depending on how you crunch the numbers.
Iatrogenic disease. Exactly.
It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Hey, Doc, so you're not showing up properly on the Restream feed. Will you pop out and come back in? Because
Certainly.
I want you to be front and center when you're here.
Okay.
Would you mind doing that? Okay.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Okay. And then once Doc comes back on, Dave or James, one of you is going to have to pop off and come back on as well. In the meantime, while he's doing that, we're going to do our quick sponsor announcement. MyPillow, Mike Lindell has sponsored us from the beginning. Go to mypillow.com, use the discount code SAM. Dr. Glidden, go to his website through my website, go to samshalhoub.com, click on the Dr. Glidden's button. That'll take you to his website that has a plethora of information on health and wellness. And you can ask him just about any question. And Doc does live question and answers on his website for his members twice a week. So go to samshalhoub.com, click on Dr. Glidden's button, and use the code SAM for a 30% discount. And then, of course, we have Neil Naturopathic, the only chemical-free, toxin-free hair care products in the world today that I'm aware of. Go to neilnaturopathic.com. Use the discount code SAM20, SAM20. You get 20% off your order. And then lastly, of course, we have Bestline Racing, the premier engine and oil additives on the market. Go to samshalhoub.com, click on Bestline Racing, use the code SAM, and you'll have a significant discount. Okay, thanks, Doc. I just wanted to. Oh, Alex, did you want to talk about meditation real quick?
No, that's all right. We can skip today. I am working on the second book. But going back to the topic of doctors in 2024, which is the most recent data, 13.18 billion dollars in total payments were transferred in value to physicians and non-physician practitioners and hospitals for prescribing what they sell. 3 billion in general non-research payments, 8.5 billion in research payments, 1.3 billion in ownership and investment interest in the companies. So does it make sense, Doc, for a doctor that's prescribing something to have an ownership interest in the company that's producing it? I mean, it make sense.
It doesn't make sense. And that's, by the way, that's why the whole insurance industry was generated. That's why it came to rise, because it was intended to create a buffer between the doctor and what was being prescribed, right? So the doctor wouldn't have any financial ties at all to what they were prescribing. So therefore, theoretically, they would only be prescribing what was best for the patient in that doctor's opinion. But that's not the thing now. And by the way, with chemotherapy, the doctors get a direct cut of it. And it kind of goes something like this, right? The doctor, the oncologist in the hospital will buy the chemotherapy drug for, like, say, $3,000. They'll sell it to the patient for $20,000. Insurance pays $15,000, and the hospital and the doctor split the profit. And that should be outlawed, but you're absolutely right. All of these other financial incentives are kind of baked into the cake, but behind the scenes. They're not front and center, they're behind the scenes. And it's a gigantic problem.
Well, Doc, isn't part of that issue what was passed in 1992 with the User Fee Act, where essentially, you want to tell people about that?
Go. Yeah, you're probably more adept at that than I am, Sam. You had your fingers in that cake for a long time.
Yeah, so basically in 1992, the pharmaceutical companies were bitching at the government saying, you're not approving our drugs fast enough, right? So in all of the wisdom of Congress at the time, they'd passed this thing called the User Fee Act. And what they essentially said was that the pharmaceutical companies could pay a dollar amount up front to expedite and fast track their drug, whatever it was at the time. So that was how it began. And then that evolved over the next several decades to now the FDA, 50% or more of their entire payroll is paid for by the pharmaceutical industry. It is a perfect example of the fox watching the hen house. And I think this is exactly what you've been talking about, Doc. Wow, what is that, James? That is freaky looking. James is on a tear today. But anyway, Doc, you talked about chemotherapy. We had the User Fee Act, all these different things. This comes back down to the profitability of an inorganic substance that is the body recognizes as toxic, right?
Yeah, well, it's 100%. And so let's make one thing perfectly clear, right? Thank God for insulin. Thank God for lidocaine. Thank God for general anesthesia. It's not the gun, it's how it's used. It's not the drug, it's how it's used, right? And inside of a medical monopoly, or inside of any monopoly, you can get away with shenanigans like this. But these things can only exist inside of a monopoly. If we actually had medical freedom, all of this would go away in a heartbeat, because in medical freedom society, where people had equal access to all systems of medicine, insurance paid for everything. Insurance paid for your chiropractor, it paid for your osteopath, it paid for your naturopath, it paid for your homeopath, paid for your hydrotherapy treatment, paid for everything. And all types of doctors could admit their patients to every hospital in the United States, and insurance would pay for everything. If that were to happen, within 2 years, most medical doctors with a general family practice, doctors who weren't emergency room doctors or surgeons, would be out of a job. Because in a free market, people gravitate towards what works. And look, your medical doctor may be the nicest person God ever created, but they don't practice medicine. They practice allopathic medicine. And allopathic medicine is freaking fantastic for surgery when it's necessary and trauma care. But for most of the conditions that most people go to the doctor for, most of the time, it's a failed methodology because it does not cure the condition. Nothing's cured.
Well, and
The can is kicked down the road, and it's a problem.
And I think the distinction is between healthcare and crisis care. My brother, Dr. Mike, that was one of his, God rest his soul, that was one of his major points. That healthcare, critical care is not healthcare. Yeah.
Oh, allopathic care is not healthcare. It's disease management. It's sick care. And here's a fun fact to know and tell, ladies and gentlemen. If you would like to watch your medical doctor's head spin and watch cognitive dissonance manifest itself in real time, then the next time you're unlucky enough to be in their presence, ask them what their definition of health is. They won't have one. If you don't know what health is, if you cannot define health, then how can you help somebody to secure it? It's an interesting question, and it goes right to the root cause of the problem. Let me tell you what the real definition of health is. Health is the ability of a living organism to experience negative stress and remain symptom-free in a state of dynamic equilibrium. That's what health is. And that's what our therapeutics support and promote, the body's built-in God-given ability to recover its health, because it has a built-in God-given, spiritually attuned ability to fix itself. Your body is so freaking smart, it grew itself all by itself from one cell into you. And right now it's managing billions of biochemical processes, all of which are outside of your conscious control. There is a spiritual intelligence which is running the show. And naturopathic therapeutics, chiropractic therapeutics, homeopathic therapeutics, Ayurvedic therapeutics, acupuncture, traditional Chinese medical therapeutics, they all support the body's built-in God-given ability to fix itself. And allopathic medicine does not believe that that's a thing. Right. Your medical doctor is trained to believe that consciousness itself is a function of biochemistry. And that when you die, it's lights out, game over. There's no such thing as life after death. There's no such thing as God. There's no such thing. It's all metaphysical nonsense. Your body is a bag of biochemicals waiting to break. And this is the insane philosophical construct that informs all of allopathic medicine. And the single most important thing anybody can do moving forward to secure their health is to fire their medical doctor and seek out alternatives which are science-based and clinically verified, because they exist.
100% I agree. Digital Alki, thank you for all the gifts. John Gwynn is here, LSE.3, Teresa Faria, contractor, Charlie, oh my God, Chicken Lady Jess is here as well. Man, thank you all. See, Doc, you bring in all the people. They want to hear from you. You talked about dynamic equilibrium, and that was another thing my brother, Dr. Mike, talked a lot about. He talked about the dynamic equilibrium from a spinal biomechanics standpoint. And the way he expressed it to me was, when you're weightlifting, you want to exercise your chest and your back equally. It creates a state of dynamic equilibrium. The same with your bicep and your tricep, the same with your quads and your hamstring. That principle, I think, can be applied in many different ways. And it sounds like that's what you're saying, Doc.
Yeah, it's 100%. And that's one of the reasons why it's called holistic medicine. By the way, holistic with a W. It's WHOLISTIC. Because the fundamental truth of the matter is that there's a complicated system in place inside the human body. And, this is why we don't treat disease, because that's impossible, number one. We treat people. And medical doctors treat disease. And it's oppositionally defiant system of medicine. So you get one medicine for your arthritis, you get one medicine for your migraine, you get one medicine for your insomnia, you get one medicine for your heartburn, you get one medicine to take care of the side effects of all those other medicines, right? This is a reductionistic worldview, which is hoisted upon a systemic, holistic reality. And that's another reason that we have such horrible health outcomes here, is because you cannot, when you intervene in a holistic system reductionistically, forcing a part of the body to do what it is that the doctor wants, you're going to have net negative ramifications elsewhere because everything's connected.
You know, Doc, over on YouTube, HRP Fayetteville said healthcare went sideways and down the hill when they did the whole Finch report, and they basically pushed anything that wasn't drug-based out of medical schools. What is your comment on that?
Well, there was a hostile takeover of the practice of medicine and the education of medicine in the early 1900s. I'm 100% correct. And this is the biggest monopolistic secret hiding in plain sight. I mean, everybody understands, unless you're God, absolute power corrupts absolutely. I mean, we broke up AT&T, right? Because they had a stranglehold monopoly on telecommunications. It was $1 million a minute to make a long distance call, for goodness sake. We understand that monopolies are bad for people, but we're perfectly fine with the medical monopoly, which has existed for over 100 years right now, and that is why we are in such a pickle right now.
Well, and Doc, I don't think people are fine with it. I think they're just not aware. I think
they're not aware of it. It's a secret hiding in plain sight. Nobody is aware of it.
100%.
Right?
We have generations that have relied on that have really believed a lie.
Well, it's a half truth, right? Because, you know, sometimes you need the surgery, right? Like I said, every time I'm in the dentist chair, I thank God for lidocaine, for goodness sakes, right? Can I have a little more of that, please? But there are the curative therapeutics have been sidelined. They've been censored. They've been slandered. The practitioners of them have been jailed. It's a problem. It's a really, really big problem, and they're not going to go quietly into the night, which is why, regardless of what Bobby Kennedy does, ladies and gentlemen, you need to figure it out for yourself right now. You need to educate yourself about the simple steps you can take to make your body healthy, because it's not difficult, man. That's another thing you've been lied to about. Surgery is complicated. I would not recommend you try to do surgery on, your 5-year-old son. I would not recommend that you do that. But learning what to do to make your body healthy, to get on the other side of arthritis, to get on the other side of heartburn, to get on the other side of depression, to get on the other side of a chronic disease, it's not that difficult. Because your body wants to fix itself. It is trying to fix itself. You just need to support it. You need someone to tell you how to do that. And, well, I'm your Huckleberry, and that's just my game.
Well, and that's just it, Doc. My brother used to call it innate intelligence. Right. And what he would say is that, if you cut your finger, you cut your hand, you don't have to sit there and tell your body what white blood cells to send to it. It knew what to do. But like you said many times, that innate intelligence needs the raw fuel in order to do that. So maybe you could talk a little bit about vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and EFAs.
Well, look, right? The human body is a sophisticated, intelligent, self-regulating organism. Right? But look, we need to put warm clothes on when we go outside into cold weather. We need to drink water. We need to eat food. There are things that we need to do every day to keep the body going. Well, guess what? There are a group of nutrients called essential nutrients. There are 90 of them. And an essential nutrient is something that the body needs in order to work, but the body can't make it. There are 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 2 fatty acids, which are essential. The body needs them, but it cannot make them. The only way that an essential nutrient gets into the body is if you take it in the form of a supplement, or you eat food that's been infused with the essential nutrients. But there's no food anywhere on planet Earth. I don't care if you own 100 acres of the most organic farmland on the planet and you only eat the stuff you grow. You are still going to be deficient in nutrients with an emphasis on minerals. Supplementation with the 90 essential nutrients is mandatory. It's not optional. It's not just a good idea. It's mandatory because your body needs it. Your car needs oil. You run out of oil, the engine seizes. Your car, you need 31 pounds of air in the tires. If you've got 10, they're going to roll off the rim when you go around the corner. The body's the same way. There are things that the body needs, but they're not in the food. Hard stop. Now, the good news is that because your body is self-regulating, because your body does have intelligence, because your body really, in point of fact, truthfully needs these things, when you start putting them into the body, when you start putting them down the tank, you feel better. There's a positive response. Your sleep's better, your mood's better, your energy's better, your sex drive's better, your aches and pains are better. Because your body wants to fix itself, but it needs help. And this is the single most important thing anybody can do. To fill your body's nutritional tank up on a regular basis with the 90 essentials and stop eating food that's gumming up the works. Those are the first 2 steps to take.
Right, Doc. And for everybody, I get messages all the time about this. Where do I get these supplements? So what you do is you go to samshalhoub.com, my website. There's a button that says get your supplements here. Click on that button. That'll take you to the website where you can get Beyond Tangy Tangerine, where you can get Ultimate OsteoFX, where you can get Ultimate EFAs. And if you buy in what I do every month is I get the Healthy Start Pack. What's the healthy? Maybe you could talk a little bit about that Healthy Start Pack, Doug.
Yeah, so it's actually the most common, the most recent iteration is called the Healthy Foundation Pack. And it's a combination of 4 supplements that gives you all 90 essential nutrients and formulas that your body can actually absorb. Because remember, it's not what you swallow, it's how much your body can absorb. And there's a sophisticated manufacturing process that must be attended to in order to get the maximum bang for your buck, the maximum yield from the supplements into your body. And, this company does it better than anybody. I don't make any money, by the way, from the sale of the nutritional supplements, ladies and gentlemen. After I've been doing this for 37 years, I pretty much know what companies make the best ones, what companies makes the most effective ones. Those are the ones that Sam's talking about that I recommend. You'll be hard pressed to find a more effective nutritional supplement protocol anywhere in the world right now.
37 years, Doc. What was it like having to run away from the dinosaurs getting to the office is what I want to know.
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, Sam. And it was uphill both ways.
Exactly. Well, I've been monopolizing the conversation. Alex, any questions? James, Dave, for Doc?
I don't. I just wanted to bring up the amount of money that was going to people for writing those little pieces of paper that put money in their pockets.
Yeah, exactly. So like Doc said, everybody, in order to get the 90 essential nutrients, the reason I use the longevity products is because they work. And I have been on them for years. And so many of you have asked me where to get them, how to get them. Go to samshalhoub.com. Click on the Get My Supplements button. That'll take you to the website. If you have any questions on what to get, just type in Healthy Foundation Pack, and then you'll get everything that you need in one shipment. You do that every month, and you'll see changes in the first 30 days. You'll have more changes in 60 days. You'll have more changes in 90 days, because not only does it nutrify the body, Doc, but doesn't it also detox the body?
Well, that's one of the things that the body does when it's optimized. The body has built-in detoxification processes, and most of that happens in the liver. By the way, the liver is the only organ that can regenerate itself. You can remove a great deal of it, like 70-something%. It'll grow back. It's remarkable.
Yeah.
So liver optimization is a function. It's like a side effect of taking the 90 essential nutrients. Your liver works better, and the liver starts to detoxify things faster. Now, in addition to that, there are detoxification protocols that I and my colleagues have developed, which you can also employ in addition to the Healthy Foundation Pack after you've been on the Healthy Foundation Pack for a couple of months.
Well, see, and I think that's an important distinction to make, Doc. People should nutrify first, right?
Yeah, you have to nutrify the body before you start to detoxify the body, because the detoxification process is nutrient demanding. So if this is how many nutrients your body needs to detoxify itself, but you only have this many, and you go on the Brad Pitt lemon juice, maple syrup detox program, you're going to hurt yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but we've got this all figured out. All this information is on the website, and everybody who's listening to this needs to become a subscriber yesterday.
Yeah. So everybody, in order to do that, go to samshalhoub.com. It's on Dave's screen. Click on Dr. Glidden's button. That'll take you to his website. Use the code SAM, S-A-M, and get 30% off. I mean, for you, your kids, your grandkids, do your family a favor and join Dr. Glidden's website. I'm telling you, you will not regret it. James, you had a question?
I do. Doctor, Glidden, I appreciate you being here, and it's kind of cool for you to be here every Friday and give people the information that you do give. It's
Thanks.
definitely a huge benefit. Doctor, in the subject of pain management, are you a believer in the natural production of nitric oxide in the body, and are you a fan of seeing people take the supplement of nitric oxide to the point for just pain management?
Well, we always want to attempt to cure the condition. We don't want to just manage things, right? And my experience is when the body's completely nutrified and we have eliminated the consumption of food that's creating low levels of inflammation all the time, that the body's experience of pain is dramatically reduced. There are also things that people can do. There's a homeopathic protocol with a homeopathic medicine called hypericum. And if you take hypericum, a couple of doses of hypericum pre and post surgery, your pain from the surgery will be dramatically reduced and you will need significantly less pain meds. Now, there are a number of ways to manage pain, right? But the best way is to give the body the stuff that it needs to fix itself, because the body wants to fix itself and the body's trying to fix itself. And remember, pain is a manifestation of the body being destabilized. So we don't just want to manage the pain, we want to help the body to restabilize itself. Now, nitric oxide, the best way to do that, I think the easiest, most user-friendly way to do that is with beet juice powder or fresh squeezed beet juice. Fresh squeezed beet juice would be, I think, better than the beet juice powder, but that's a big pain in the neck. You got to get the juicer, you got to get the beets, you got to cut them up, you got to put them in the machine, you got to clean the machine. It's a pain in the neck. The beet juice powder, which is a nitric oxide promoter, is not a bad thing to do. You know, if you've had an automobile accident or you broke your leg, or heaven forbid, there's a bullet in your arm, or you live next door to a Democrat.
That's a possibility with James, believe me.
You know, so yes, there are things like nitric oxide that you can do, but in my clinical experience, pain management is best handled with homeopathic medicine and acupuncture.
And
Well,
those-
I took for shoulder surgery. I went really kind of crazy on nitric oxide in pre and post surgery. I didn't even take what they prescribed. Pain management was awesome with nitric oxide, and that's why I had asked you about it.
Well, the proof of the pudding's in the eating, right? Now, but then the whole list in me, right, is begging to ask the question, well, you know, why did you need shoulder surgery in the first place? Was there trauma to the shoulder, or was it just a arthritic degradation over time?
No, I tore them apart.
Oh, you
Heavy
tore
lifting.
like
Heavy lifting.
heavy lifting. Okay, well, so here's the deal, right? We've had lots of people over time who have had all kinds of arthritic problems. Theo Ratliff was, I think, the most famous. He was a professional NBA player, and he developed osteoporosis and arthritis really bad, so bad that the orthopedic doctors in the NBA said, Theo, you can't play anymore. Your joints just can't handle it. So Theo found my mentor, Dr. Joel Wallach, who, you know, was the originator of all of this medical nutrition stuff. And he went on Wallach's protocol for 9 months, just nutritional supplements and dietary modification. That's all he did. And he came back and led the league in rebounds and added 5 years to his NBA career, just from supporting his musculoskeletal system. Now, look, man, there is a point of no return, right? There is a point beyond which the body can't fix it. You cut your finger off in a buzzsaw, you know, I'm not aware of anything that's going to grow back unless they have it, you know, in a bunker in Dulce, New Mexico, right? Some ET tech, maybe that's a thing. But there is a point of no return. However, you wouldn't believe the things that I've seen people recover from. You wouldn't believe it. So my position, unless you're bleeding to death, right, you should always attempt to cure the condition before you have the surgery, because you might be able to. And let's say you are too far gone, you can't fix it, it's too far gone, too much damage, you need surgery, because sometimes you do. What would you rather do? Would you rather be in the surgical theater in a nutrified and strong body or in an undernutrified and weak body? You're going to have a much better recovery time if you're nutrified and strong. And, I was treating one guy. He was a Marine. And when he retired from the Marines, he became a police officer in South Carolina. He was a sergeant, I think, and he had a hip replacement while he was in the Marine Corps. And then after the Marine Corps, his other hip started to go, and he found out about this nutritional approach, and he started to do it. That's all he did was medical nutrition and alter his diet. And the hip that was starting to go completely fixed itself. And as of, I haven't spoken to this guy in a couple of years, but the only musculoskeletal pain he was still having was in the hip that they surgeried. So maybe you need the surgery. Maybe it's a great thing. A good friend of mine was a very famous orthopedic surgeon. He did Kobe Bryant's shoulder, right? Name's Dave Janda. Janda had a bad neck and this was a really kind of ironic story. An orthopedic surgeon, right? we met up and I told him to do this. And he said, hey, that's not going to work. I need surgery. I said, do this. He says, not going to work. I need surgery. He finally did it and the neck pain went away. He didn't need surgery. So the point is that, when you go to the surgeon's office, they're going to tell you need surgery because in their worldview, you do, because they don't do anything else. And that's all that they know. When all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So that's a really long-winded answer to your question. And my point is that we should always attempt to cure the condition because you might be surprised.
Rick Sr. said, what's the name of the package to search for on your site, Sam? It's called the Healthy Foundation Pack, Rick. And if you have any questions about it, send me a message. Top Crop TV had a question, said, can breathing techniques can produce nitric oxide as well?
Well, I don't know. Breathing techniques are essential to a good meditation discipline. And breathing techniques can unlock resources of power inside the human body. Qigong is a remarkably effective, workout therapeutic. And I don't really care about that. And here's why I don't care about it, because I am not in the business of micromanaging the metabolism of the body, because the body knows what to do. I don't have to tell it what to do. This is why my job is so easy. And this is where we work at cross purposes with the MDs, because the MDs want to micromanage everything, right? They have these sophisticated drugs that work on these metabolic pathways that are, very sophisticated, and they needed AI to help them figure it out. We don't do that. Why don't we do that? Because our fundamental position is the body knows how to fix itself. The body wants to fix itself. The body's trying to fix itself all the freaking time. So what do? We give the body the raw materials it needs to fix itself. We counsel people to stop eating food that's coming up the works, and we see how far back you bounce. And then if you don't get all the way back just from those generic recommendations, which by the way are 83% effective, then you do then you need a private appointment with someone like me. You need a homeopathic treatment. You need an acupuncture treatment. You need to find a good chiropractor. You need to do something, but you need to have the foundation in place first, because your body knows what to do, man. You don't need to micromanage it.
Yep, 100%. Alex?
Not any of us here, but to the skeptics, if I was going to go validate everything that we're talking about, if there was a place that I could go dig and do a little research, where would you point someone to go?
Well, there's no place. There are homeopathic journals. There are homeopathic medical journals. But there's not, and see, this is one of the downsides of the medical monopoly that's been in place for over 100 years. Because before the medical monopoly took place, there were 150 homeopathic hospitals in this country, and they had better success than the drug hospitals did. But 5 years after the Flexner Report and the hostile takeover of medicine, they were all sidelined. They were all out of business because it became illegal to do what they did. And because of the medical monopoly, the research for this type of medicine, it's just, there's not a lot of it. Mike Adams, the Health Ranger, has a really interesting site. It's called Brighteon.ai, I think.
It's Brighteon. Yeah, Brighteon.
Yeah. And he's collated over the years thousands and thousands and thousands of research papers, right, on, the benefits of vitamin C, the benefits of selenium, the benefits of this, that, or the other thing, whatever it is, a non-drug therapeutic. And you can go to his website and type in a keyword and research, and it'll pull up all the papers that have ever been published about it. So, but we are at an extreme deficit in the world regarding that because of the medical monopoly, which has tied our hands closely for the last 120 years.
But all of that's changing, Doc. All of that.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay.
I look at it from a 40-year perspective. Things that we talked about 40 years ago, people thought we were freaking crazy and had a horn coming out of our forehead.
Well, you're right. You're right about that, Sam. You're right. And, you're a glasses half full kind of a guy. I'm a glasses half empty kind of guy. So.
But the reality is the glass is full. It may only have half water, but the other half is air. Exactly. All right. So last question, Doc, because I know you have a limited amount of time, but PJ Party Peggy said, what are the 12 bad foods?
Okay. So I'll tell you what they are, but you need to go to my website. I created like a 45-minute video, I think, which explains why each of these foods are bad. So I'm going to tell you what they are, but it would, I don't want to just give you a fish. I want to teach you how to fish, right? So it would be better if you went to the website through Sam's link, became a subscriber, and sourced this information yourself. And there was so much information on my website. I mean, it will take you a year to go through all of it. And it's fun, it's entertaining, it's informational. It makes your head explode 3 times. It's really, if I do say so myself, it's a wonderful place to go to learn about alternatives to the, mediocre Machiavellian monopolistic medicine brought to the table by the MDs. But here they are, okay? Number 1, so wheat, barley, rye, and oats. It's the grains that contain the protein gluten, because gluten destroys the digestive tract in most people. Oil in a bottle, everybody's favorite olive oil. Don't eat any oil in a bottle. Fried food, I don't even want you to be downwind of fried food. The reason African Americans have greater incidence of heart disease is not because of some mysterious black gene. It's because that culture eats way more fried food than anybody else. And fried food is loaded with a chemical called acrylamide, which will kill you slowly. A carbonated drink with a meal. Anything that has bubbles in it, you don't want to drink that with a meal because the bubbles will dilute your stomach acid, and you need to have healthy and strong stomach acid to digest the food that you've just eaten. Next on the list would be meat cooked well done. Now, we're big fans of red meat, but you want to have it rare or medium rare, and the bloodier the better.
Yeah, I say you just knock its horns off, wipe its ass, and put it on the plate.
Hey, James.
Wow.
Sorry, Doc, didn't mean to interrupt.
Next on the list, the skins of baked potatoes, yams, and sweet potatoes. When they get crunchy and hard because you bake them? That has heterocyclic amines in it, which will kill you slowly. If you want to boil your potato, you can eat it and the skin, but if you're going to bake it, you can't eat the skin. You can only eat the potato part. And the last 2 would be soy and corn, which are genetically modified and or non-organic. So if you can find organic, non-genetically modified corn or soy, then that's okay. But, the vast majority of corn and soy in the world today is genetically modified and is not organic. And even the World Health Organization recommends people don't eat those foods because they're directly related to stroke and cancer and a bunch of other things. So it's big bad voodoo daddies. And it's interesting because these foods are the foods that people eat all the time.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen by accident.
Yeah, 100%
This was
agree.
designed to make people sick, and then to shunt them into a non-curative system of medicine, which only kicks the can down the road and makes people more dependent on drugs and more dependent on surgery and more dependent on drugs and more dependent on surgery. And then the last 8 years of their life, it's a revolving door to the emergency room.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
all of that, And it's because of people like you, Doc, that entire tide is changing in a way
Oh,
that is if I had a set of stairs for you to jump up, run up, and dance around like Rocky, you'd be the guy that would do it.
okay, let's go.
Absolutely.
I'm ready. I'm still waiting for my
Absolutely.
invitation to Joe Rogan. Let's go, Sam.
Exactly. Now, Doc, David Morales, this is a great way to end the show today. He said, great to hear. This is David Morales over in the UK, by the way. Great to hear such positive health knowledge. Thank you, Dr. Glidden. 100%. I couldn't agree more. Doc, I know you take time out of your day to be with us here on Friday. Everybody looks forward to it. I had a bunch of questions earlier in the show saying, is Dr. Glidden coming on today? I said, yep, he'll be here. So again, I want to thank you from the center of my heart for not only being who you are, but bringing this information to all of our viewers.
Well, you're welcome, Sam. And this from the Shameless Department of Self-Promotion, right? So in addition to the static information that's on my website and that's in the book that I wrote, for my subscribers, for 2 hours a week, 1 hour on Tuesday and 1 hour on Thursday, I have live Q&As. I answer questions just like this for 2 hours a week for my subscribers. So if you can't get enough of me here, just please, for goodness sakes, click on Sam's link, become a subscriber, and let me give you a guided tour of the undiscovered country by most of science-based, clinically verified curative medicine. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Doc. Have a great day, and I'll reach out to you about Dr. Tenpenny.
I'll look forward to it. Thanks.
All right, there we go. All right, everybody. Wow. Always a plethora of information on Fridays from Dr. Glidden. Thank you again, Doc. All right.
Hey, Sam, I just want you to know, based on what Dr. Glidden just said, I apologize for sending you 6 ears of sweet corn. I won't do it again.
No. Disregard whatever he said in reference to corn or meat. You send me anything you want anytime, James. And I think that's a really good point too, you guys. I eat really well, but there are times when I have sugar. There are times when I have things that I know aren't good for me, but I got to enjoy life too. I think there's a place for that. It's not the mainstream in my life, but I think it's important that we enjoy life. So, James, you have the green light anytime.
Well, Sam, I think you exactly hit the nail on the head. If you do everything in moderation, I don't see anything wrong with that. One good meal is not going to make you perfect, and one bad meal is not going to make you imperfect. So I agree with you.
John Gwynn said Doc was drinking tequila. Yeah, when he was in Mexico, John, you're right. Exactly. Exactly. All right, everybody. Oh, my God. This is a new record, you guys. I'm pretty sure. 214,000 likes? You got to be kidding me.
That's pretty crazy.
Oh, my word. You guys are awesome. Absolutely awesome. I'm just blown away. 215,000 now. Holy smoke. Hey, the Trump train from John Gwynn. All right. That's what I like to see. All right, everybody. So we're gonna dance, but we're gonna sign off on X, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. Now we will be starting this new. We're gonna try a new format next week, so keep an eye out for it. We're gonna go live during the weekend sometime to test this all out. So if you see us on any of those platforms, jump on. We'd love to.